My mom picked me up, told her I was sick, and asked her to help me out and get me some pills. And she started crying, said, "You're going to die. Like, I've never seen you this bad." And I was like,
Welcome back to the Plugged In Podcast. I'm your host, Wade Mulhauser. I am so excited today. I have not only one of my best friends in the entire world, probably, if I'm real, my best friend in the entire world, but also our COO, Desiree Gonzalez, with me. I could not be more excited for what we have ahead of us. Hear a little bit about Dez's story, how she got started in the industry, her recovery journey, what it's been like transitioning from corporate America to now running a huge organization like ourselves. But without further ado, Miss Desiree.
"Hi, yes, Desiree." Again, like Wade said, have a really good relationship with Wade. I've known him since, we first got sober, a little over 5, almost 6 years ago. I kind of oversee all of what Plugged In is. It has been such a crazy journey just from, rewinding back, even getting sober. I'll celebrate 6 years on the 5th of February.
Let's go.
So, yeah, man, my life looked 110% different than what it did now. Before I got sober, I was living in a 2009 Honda Accord in West Phoenix. Now there's a lot obviously that's happened from then till now, but ultimately, got sober. I had no insurance at the time. I had gotten fired from a job that I worked at for 7+ years, and somehow couldn't go to treatment. I did the whole detox on mom's couch thing, and thank God for my mom. I put her through hell, but didn't go to treatment this time. Had been in and out of the rooms for a really, really long time, and got sober. I moved into sober living. I stayed in sober living for like 10 months. Got a job in the same industry I'd worked since I was like 18, which is, finance, corporate type stuff, and started working there. I met Wade shortly after. Once Wade opened his first house, super pumped for him, right? Eventually quit his job, right? And just kind of got to see the growth from there. I came on to Plugged In when Wade opened his first women's house. I was working full-time at the bank and worked there just when I got off on weekends, just helping wherever I could. And just slowly things snowballed, and I got really into, I'm really passionate about recovery and helping women and helping everybody that I can. And, when Wade opened the treatment center, I think he was probably trying to get me to quit my job for a while before then, but it was go time, and, Wade sent me an offer letter, and I was like super scared, because that's all I had known since I was like 18 is just a totally different industry. And, just made the leap, and the rest is history, man. I started with Plugged In as HR, and that wasn't even the original plan. I'm pretty sure my offer letter said like director of administration or something. And I remember asking Wade, like, what does that mean? Like, what am I going to be doing? And he's like, we're going to find out, we're going to find out. And I was just so pumped to, start in this industry and get to work with one of my best friends and get to help a lot of people, and, took a leap, and a lot of hard work, a lot of hours, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, really, since then. And, honored to be the COO here at Plugged In now and get to lead a team of just absolutely amazing people and get to work with a lot of my friends today. And really, like, the coolest thing is just getting to help a lot of people. So, yeah.
Well, I'm going to break down a lot of that. I know you're trying to get out of here and you hate being on camera, but, let's start with the 2009 Honda Accord.
Okay.
Living in the car, okay?
Yeah.
You had tried treatment time and time again before that.
Yeah.
And the only reason I like to start here is because that's how we get to why we do things differently than a lot of you or my experiences. But, like, what in the past didn't work for you? Was it just you weren't ready? Was it just that you didn't take suggestions? Was it not the right fit? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I think I went to treatment. I've been using since I was, teenage years, my drug of choice is heroin and fentanyl. And I've been using, started using that when I was like 16, went to treatment for the first time at 19. The treatment center that I went to was 12-step based, but it was kind of like a lot of treatment centers are now. Like it's a little bit 12-step based, right? Like they have the 12 steps on the wall. You might work a couple worksheets based on the steps, but not like we do it, right? And so, but that was my first introduction to 12 steps, which ultimately saved my life, right? So that's when I was introduced to it. And I think, went back to that treatment center multiple times, went through multiple detoxes in facilities, on couches, wherever I could, right? And, went to a lot of meetings, worked some steps, went through multiple sponsor hopping, right? I think ultimately, it was a mixture of things. Like I wasn't ready. I like to get high, and I wasn't ready to stop getting high no matter what consequences came my way. A lot of it was like I wasn't willing to do everything that was suggested of me. Like I had a lot of really great sponsors over the years that did everything right, and I just whether it was I don't want to get on my knees to pray, right, or I don't want to meditate. My mind can't sit still to meditate, right? Or, leaving shit out on a 4th step, or like whatever it was. Any excuse in the world would I could say would be different. I think like what kind of happened. So I went in and out, right? In and out of the rooms. I would pick up a 30-day, a 60-day, maybe a 90-day if I got really squirrely. And then I would relapse, and I would go on a long run, and I would always come back to the rooms and to the 12 steps. And so, when I got sober this time, I wasn't on mom's insurance. I had lost my job, so I didn't have my own insurance. I wasn't going to CBI, so I did mom's couch. And like I have always just known in my heart that like the only way that I have ever gotten any sort of substantial sobriety time was working the 12 steps. And, when 2009 Honda, right, I was millionth time back in that spot, right? Environments may have been different. I may not have always been living in a car, right? But like the hopelessness and the despair and all of the shit that comes with active addiction, I was just back there, and it got worse every single time. And my mom kidnapped me, basically, and that's how I always say in my story is my mom picked me up. I asked her to, I told her I was sick, and she knew what sick meant, right? It means I'm going through withdrawals, and asked her to help me out and get me some pills, and she was like, okay, like, I'll come pick you up and take you to get some. Never done that before, and I was like, okay, but I didn't care because I was sick as shit, Picked me up, took me, and like I'm not paying attention, and she's driving, and we passed my exit to my house/car, in West Phoenix. And I'm like, Mom, where are we going? And she started crying, she's like hands on her steering wheel, and I could just see tears running down her cheeks. And she said, you're going to die. Like, I've never seen you this bad. And I was like barely over 100 pounds. Just bad. I was bad at that time. And she took me to California. I'm pretty sure I screamed at her and called her every name in the book, on the way there. But I was all right because I made her stop at every gas station on the way there so I could, get high and detox there. And I knew, like, when I was done there and we were on our way back, and she was like, I have it set up. You can stay with your sister to get back on your feet, blah, blah, blah. And this had been like a recurring cycle over and over and over. And something in me was just like, you can't do that. Like, go back to sober living. And so that's what I did. And I've just always known that, like, I knew I needed to get a sponsor again. I knew I needed to work the steps again. There was no fight left in me. I was just at a point where I was like, you tell me to fucking go scrub the toilet. You tell me to do anything, and I'll do it because I don't want to die. And, like, I know this is my last chance to try, So, yeah.
I love it. And I just love the honest and the rawness in that story. And shout out to all the moms out there. Just absolutely not giving up, not stopping, fighting for your kid or your loved one. Not just moms, it's dads too. When they don't even want it. and they'll call you every name in the book. They will fight you. They will kick. They will scream. They'll threaten to jump out of the car. But you don't stop fighting. You don't stop loving. You don't stop praying for them. So shout out to you because it can make all the difference in the world. I also got sober on my mom's couch this last time around, which is, it's so funny because people are always just like, oh, well, you're at a treatment center. And I bring up me and you. I'm like, myself and Desiree, the COO of this company, the last time around who've gone through treatment multiple times, both got sober on a couch. It doesn't mean that everybody has to go through treatment, but what I can tell you is treatment generally gives you your best shot at success. And if you aren't going to go to treatment, you have to treat the 12 steps in recovery like it is your absolute life. And that's what we did instead, right? Mm-hmm. Both of us sober living, both of us meetings every single day, both of us actively involved in service work. So after sober living, you get back into the finance world. You've started to develop a little bit of a community, kind of start taking us through those steps. What consequences did it take time to maybe get back that you were working through?
I mean, going back to, while I was in sober living, I just inserted myself like in the middle of everything. That's where I met Wade, is at a home group. Shout out Junkie See, Junkie Do at the Coop on Thursday nights. That's where I met Wade. And I just put myself in the middle. Like I had burned every bridge and every friendship around me, right? To where I literally had to just start from scratch. I had this job that I somehow got. I went to this interview high and it didn't start till a month later, right? And got sober in that month's time. And so I would just clock into work. I would clock out. I would go to a meeting. I would meet with my sponsor. Mind you, like I got sober and then a month later, everything shut down because of COVID, right? This was in 2020. And that was like the perfect excuse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I started working from home. Right? It was in my sober living with a roommate, you know what I mean? Taking calls and all that stuff. And I just put myself in the middle of everything, started working my steps. I think I started sponsoring when I was like 5 months sober. Immediately started doing H&Is at another treatment center, and Wade did that with me for a long time. Every week. It was just a recovery grind, So, yeah, I mean, consequences that I had to kind of clean up when I got sober, right? Relationships, my kids, 100%. I mean, I didn't see my kids when I was getting high towards the end, really at all, on both sides, you know what I mean? And it's not because I didn't love them or didn't want to see them, but like I was fucked off, dude. I was really fucked off. And, started bit by bit adding that piece in, rebuilding those relationships, started picking them up here and there. Took a couple overnights to spend the night with them, right? And slowly built that up and built the trust back up to where when I got to like 10 months sober, I believe I was in sober living for about 10 months, got an apartment, moved out on my own, and got my kids back right away, 50-50. And so like it's just been a lot of time to like let those wounds heal. Like thankfully in my situation, like I've never been arrested over the age of 18, don't have any charges or anything like that. So I didn't really have to clean up any legal messes, anything like that, but the relationships and the, emotional, spiritual, all of that mental damage was, I think, the consequences I had to deal with most.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that because it's not always pretty. It's hard work, but the reward is always worth it.
Yeah.
And it always seems like it's so long before we're going to get back these things that we lost or that we gave up. And in reality, it takes a while, right? We didn't ruin our life overnight, and you're 1,000% not going to get your life back overnight, right? Maybe not even a month or 2 months or 3 months or 6 months, but within a year, your whole life can be different. And I love that that's also your experience. I love that you mentioned Junkie See, Junkie Do. I think it's the same mentality. You were in the middle of it, the home group. I came down middle of it, home group. Yeah. And like, that's how you really develop a community. So like with that community, that's how we had met. Obviously, we do H&Is and things of that nature. What was going past that? So now you work at the bank, corporate America, big bank, great job, cushy job. Wade approaches you after an H&I and is like, hey, Des, I'm going to open up a women's house. What you think?
Yeah. I mean, right away, I was like, I was such a service junkie back then too. Still am, but, time permits. But, I mean, first thoughts was just like, I would love to help, As long as I don't have to live there, I would love to help. Yeah. Yeah, that was a ride because Wade. You how many men's houses did you have at that point?
Only two.
Only two. Okay, so you knew how to run the men's houses, but you were like, I'm staying away from the women's houses, and you were like, I need some help with this one. Really cool. I got to just like, man, we got girls in there. I started running the house meeting once a week there, just trying to be involved as much as I could. I've gotten to like build relationships with so many women that have come through our houses, promoting them to house managers, cheering them on when they got their kids back, when they moved out, when, they closed out a court case, got off probation. I mean, everything I've got to experience with them, like side by side, and just build those relationships. So first initial thoughts is like just so excited because I knew I was going to be able to be in that. And that's exactly what I got, So.
And you helped build the entire women's program
Mm-hmm.
here.
Yeah.
We now have 3 women's houses,
Mm-hmm.
which has been just an absolute blessing, I think, for us to have to help so many different women too.
Yeah.
Me and Wade Senior have zero business operating those houses. So we're super grateful for you. And shout out Lindy, who was there from the very beginning too.
Absolutely.
So I can tell you, I knew Desiree was the one for Plugged In because I knew what it took to open a sober living and have a full-time job and be on the phones all day and deal with crises as they come up because we're meeting everyone in the biggest crisis of their life at that moment. And you just handled it with stride. You handled your business. You could be on the call and answer the phone and take care of whatever it was. And there's just not many people that have that kind of work ethic. So as you saw, we kept growing over the course of the next year.
Mm-hmm.
We had talked about, I think as a team, to do the treatment center thing for a while.
Mm-hmm. Lots of meetings after H&I.
Yeah.
Over and every week. What's the update now? Lots of those for sure.
Parking lot conversations, literally just talking about it. We pulled the trigger on the treatment center.
Mm-hmm.
I come to you. I'd said, it's so funny because now I look at it, I'm like, literally just this Word doc that I can't even put my own header on, essentially. It's just like, will you be the director of administration? What is that? I don't know. We're going to find out what that means here. Yeah. But I mean, it has grown so much compared to how it started. And just you taking on HR, really, it wasn't long before you were essentially running the facility and people were coming to you with all the problems. And the obvious choice was like, yeah, she needs to just step in this. How did you overcome that? Not coming from the space and then having to lead people who have years of treatment center experience.
Oh, yeah. That was like, there was some fear with that, right? Not fear in the sense that like I didn't think I could do it, but fear in the sense of like nobody's going to respect me. And not in a respect of like power and respect, but like, are they going to trust my judgment on things? Are they going to second guess everything that I say, right? It was there was like a, I don't even know how long it was, but there was a bit of a transition there where it was like I didn't have fear that I couldn't do the job because I knew I could. I've just always been like a natural leader. I knew that I could do the job, but I think that like as the days and weeks went on, our employees that I now oversaw, right, and I wasn't just HR anymore. They saw that like I cared, and they saw that like I made informed decisions, and it wasn't just like a power move or a no, you can't do this because I said so. It was like I was in the thick of it, and I'm still in the thick of it, even in my position today. Of like before I even make a decision, I want to know all the background, right? I still join our patient staffings. I still join, everything. So I think that helped because our employees just saw that like I was in it and I cared. And like, of course they're going to question some things. And of course there was probably some like, who's this, right? But
side eye.
Yeah, for sure. But I just pushed through that, man, because like I trusted you. I trusted this company and the direction that we're going. And yeah, I think that's just how it went, man. And I think that's kind of how it still goes today.
It still goes that way.
Transparent, yeah.
How did you step into that role and then even up to a COO level role, like your self-development, your personal development to be a leader? Because I agree, you're just a naturally born leader, but what is it that you do to other women that are out there that are maybe in recovery? Because I always tell people this, recovering drug addicts and alcoholics, your superpower is just that. You have so much opportunity to be so successful because you're so smart, you're naturally gifted, you're usually a talker. You've had to manipulate people, places, and things for so long and stay high and remember your lie and everything in between when all that's off your back. But what did you do to really level yourself up? Because it wasn't just pure favoritism of Des. It was not only work ethic, but like it was, you could see you put in the work to deserve that position.
Yeah. I think a lot of it was just like I was so invested. Like ever since you opened Plugged, like I've just been so invested in it. Like, so like what I've done is I'm an observer, right? So, and I made sure to like every person that I meet with that reports to me, even today, I'm like, you've been doing this a long time. Like, what would you do? You know, I learn from everybody that we work with, and we've gotten really lucky that we've gotten to like handpick people. Basically, our entire team, we've gotten to handpick. And, you know, just learning from their experience. And then honestly, it's been like just putting in like grinding. You know what I mean? Learning from, like, it doesn't mean that every decision I've ever made and every conversation that I've ever had with employees is like, I should have gone about it, you know, maybe in a different way. Like I've had a lot of learning experiences, but for me personally, like I can mess something up, but I'm not going to mess that up again. You know, like I am a very fast learner. I catch on to things quick. I observe anywhere I am. My door's open. I'm observing. I'm hearing. You know, and my brain is just psychotic in that way to where like it just has to know everything that's going on. You know. And so, yeah, I think I've learned through trial and error and just like putting in the time and work and hours and, you know, having the hard conversations and like just building and not making the same mistake twice, you know?
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
What I got a few more for you here, but the big one I want to ask you is when I came to you, leave your corporate America job that has a very nice salary at the bank. I know you and Steve had some conversations about it. Shout out, Steve. What made you believe in Plugged In and the dream and what we were building?
Honestly, I think it was like I knew you from Junkie, right? And so I knew that you showed up every week and I knew that you stayed even when you opened the houses, right? I knew that you still showed up and you still cared and you still put yourself in the middle. That was like the beginning of it, right? And then when we started doing H&Is together, just hearing your story and seeing that like you were just so willing to help people and sponsor whoever asked you to sponsor and take the calls and do all this stuff, that like I knew that your heart was in the right place. And I had been in treatment centers and in sober livings where you just knew they weren't, you know? And so if another treatment center would have approached me and been like, not that they would because I had no experience, but like if another treatment center would have approached me and asked me for that, I wouldn't have done it because like I saw the heart and I saw that like the vision, right, of what you wanted and that like truly you just wanted to help people and like spin up the treatment world, you know what I mean? And I think I just knew that your heart was in the right place, you know what I mean? And so when you came to me and you're like, hey, quit your job that you've had for 5 years, you know, in the industry that you've worked in since you were an adult, I was scared because I was like, I could die behind this desk at the bank, right? Retire there, you know, like actually retire and never have to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a corporate job. I was scared and I had a lot of combos with my fiance. And, you know, me and you and him had a lot of combos together of like, well, what does this look like? And what do we think this is going to be? And all of that. And like ultimately I think like talking and we would just talk in circles about it. And I'd be like, I know what about this? And like, what if this happens? And I prayed so much during that time of just being like, God, you show me like what is the right path for me. And I woke up and I was just like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to sign. I'm going to put my 2 weeks in. And yeah, that's how it went.
Ugh.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And it doesn't matter the decision. I love the best part about it is you use the exact tools that we would teach someone here for a major life decision like that.
Yeah.
Pray about it, talk about it,
Mm-hmm.
get outside yourself.
Yep.
You know, be of service.
Yep.
So that's awesome. What are you most proud of in your time at Plugged In Recovery?
Oh, my time. That's a hard question. I think like what I'm most proud of, like as like company wide or like myself.
Both.
Okay.
Never open it up to me to give you 2 out of 1.
I think company wide is just growth and getting to like my favorite thing in the world, even when I was a patient in treatment, is like seeing somebody come in just like so broken. And so like I think about this every time I was in treatment. One of the times I went, and there was a guy that was there, and who was an alcoholic, and he had the shakes so bad, could not even walk. And I remember I have like this vision of seeing him walking down a ramp and just shaking and having to like rely on the rail. And like 2 weeks later, this guy is a totally different person. And he's like gung ho about the steps, has a sponsor. His sponsor's there multiple times a week. No more shakes. You know what I mean? And that is my favorite part of treatment. And that's been my favorite part here, is just like seeing the transformations from when they come in to when they become an alumni with us. So that's probably my proudest, even though like I may not have the patient face to face, sometimes I do, but just getting to be a part of that journey in any way is probably my favorite part there. That's for like the business and growth. Like obviously the way that we're growing is we've all worked really hard to be able to do that, you know? And that is just like so many cool things are coming. So I'm really proud of us for that. For me, I think it's just, man, just with Plugged In, I think like getting to be a leader that has an open door policy, that has ability to like be human. You know what I mean? This is not a corporate job by any means, right? For me at least. And that's, you know, getting to like come to work every day and not wake up and be like, I don't want to come to work. Since I have not had a single day since I started here that like I wake up and I'm like, fuck, I don't want to go to work. You know, can I call out? You know what I mean? I think I called out sick one time when I was like dying with the flu. Yeah. But other than that, I've never not wanted to be here. Like I'm excited when I wake up. And that, like for me personally is, like I'm like invested into this to where like I'm stoked to get up at 5:30 in the morning every day, get my kids ready, drop them off, you know what I mean, and get here and walk in the door and talk to all of our employees. Like that's the best, you know. It's cool.
What advice would you give the girl in a 2009 Honda who's just broken, shattered, a shell of her old self, that you could give her that you wish somebody would have gave you?
Shut the fuck up, number one. Like stop talking and listen to suggestions, and just go get help. Go get help. What do you have left to lose? Do you like? It's go time. Like, do you want to live or do you want to die? You know. So, I think that's what I would say.
Did you ever see how full your life could look like it does today?
Never.
You know,
never,
I mean,
never
the accomplishments you've had, that's what I'm trying to get to, is like you have, we didn't even touch on it, but like all the things, right? Like, did you ever think your life could look like this?
Honestly, no. Like if I had a dream when I was living in my car in 2020, it was not this. You know what I mean? My dream was like, maybe I'll get my own apartment one day, you know? Maybe, I mean, just like beyond my wildest dreams, right? Like I've gotten to do so many cool things. Traveled out of country. My sister got married in Thailand, 2021, something like that. And I couldn't even get on an airplane back then. Like I would never even have dreamed to do that, right? And yeah, from a lot of like accomplishments, both like, you know, as a woman, as a mother, getting to just like be there for my kids, my son who's autistic, like getting to be present when he started talking. Insane. You know what I mean? Yeah, just getting to be a mom, meeting my fiance. We got engaged last year, and I'd never even like, my dreams back then would have been like, I hope I have a healthy relationship one day. You know what I mean? Never to like get engaged, never to like even begin to plan a wedding, never to buy a house. You know what I mean? That's like not, you know, graduating high school, like that was great. You know, like never even, that was like a huge accomplishment. you know, for people that, you know, especially in the Hispanic community, right? Um, that suffer with substance abuse and all of that. Like, I graduated high school. Um, that was huge. So I never could have even dreamed that like my life could be this way. And like we just bought a house and it's a nice house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We got a pool in the back. Like just would never even beyond my wildest dreams. And yeah, just super freaking grateful.
You're an absolute workhorse who deserves everything that she's ever gotten. It's all earned. It's not given. You're an absolute boss. What are you most excited for coming up on the Plugged In Recovery roadmap?
I don't even think I could pick one, honestly. I think it's you know, we got a lot of stuff cooking right now. I think one of the coolest things that we're doing that I'm really excited about is the adolescent center specific for neurodivergent kids. Obviously, I'm partial to that because my son's autistic, but I'm just like my what I'm most excited for is just to continue shaking things up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just super excited for that and getting into different things and bringing on absolute rock stars that can help us get there too. You know, that's what I'm excited for.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you so much letting go of the fear, getting on the podcast with me.
Mm-hmm.
Hit the like button, the share button. The more views, that was my excuse to get her on, is her short last time had the most natural views. So smash it, forward it, pass it along to a friend. We need more Des on here. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for all the hard work you do. Thank you for just being you. You are an absolute rock star. If you enjoyed today's podcast, if you have questions for any of us, please reach out for help. Our admissions number is always available 24/7, 365 days a year. You can get myself, Ryan, Heath, Eric, Monica, Desiree sometimes on the phone. We want to help. If it's you, a family member, a loved one, just even a friend that you're scared for, that you care about, we have out-of-network and in-network now options available to help. 602-527-8096. We want to be there to help you. We'll see you next week.